This is WAEC June 2020 General Mathematics Paper 2, and we're answering question number 12B. And the question reads, ABCD is a parallelogram in which the distance of line CD is equal to 7 centimeters. The length of line AD is 5 centimeters, and the angle ADC, the size is 125 degrees. Roman 1 question asked here is to illustrate this information given into diagram. And Roman 2, you are now asked to find the correct to one decimal place, the area of the parallelogram. So let's attempt to answer these two questions together. Solution to the problem, starting with the very first question, asked to illustrate this parallelogram into drawing, that is to draw this very parallelogram with the distance CD7, ED5, and angle at D125. Remember, parallelogram opposite sides are equal and parallel. So it will look like this ABCD parallelogram. The naming must go round, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. The line BC you can see having 2 arrows, and the line AD with 2 arrows, meaning these 2 lines are parallel. Line AB with single arrow, and the line CD with a single arrow, meaning these 2 lines are parallel. This is the parallelogram. So you now transfer the distances there and the angle. Line CD is 7 centimeters and the line ED is 5 centimeters. Let me mark those distances. And the angle at D, that is angle EDC 125. So with this, you have answered question number Roman 1. So move to Roman 2. Roman 2 that you asked to find the area of this very parallelogram correct to one decimal place. Formula for finding area parallelogram says area equals to base multiplied by the height. So to find this area parallelogram, you have the base, can take it as 5 centimeters, but the height between the two parallel sides is missing. So which means you have to determine it. To determine this, let me just add this line, that is draw line from this point to C vertically down and produce line AD, where the 2 lines meet will now be an angle 90 degrees. That gives you a right angle triangle with this angle 55 degrees. That together with this 125 now give a complete angle on a straight line. And if this is 7, the hypotenuse, you can now find the H. So H applying the sine ratio will now be equals to H equals to 7 multiplied by sine 55 degrees. So you can now substitute in the formula. You have the base already as 5 centimeters and you have H to be equals to 7 sine 55 degrees. So substituted in this very formula correctly, you now have 5 multiplied by 7 multiplied by sine 55 degrees. And you now find the sine 55 degrees from either your calculator or from the four-figure table. If that is done correctly, you have sine 55 degrees as 0.8192. Multiplying these 3 values correctly gives answer 28.7 centimeters square, rounded correctly to one decimal place. And this will now be the area of this very parallelogram. And that answered the question. So let me just share with you quickly the mark distribution for this very question as it is there in the marking scheme. The very first mark is bonus 1 mark. And this bonus 1 mark, you have it when you now write or draw this parallelogram correctly with the points correctly indicated and the distance 5 cm, 7 cm correctly indicated and angle 125 also correctly indicated. You have this bonus 1 mark. Next mark is for getting the height between the parallel sides using sine ratio. You have this method 1 mark. Next mark is substituting the base and the height in the formula for area of the parallelogram. You have this method 1 mark. And finding the sine 55 degrees using your calculator or four-figure table correctly, you have another method 1 mark. And when you now have the final answer as 28.7 centimeters square, rounded correctly to one decimal place, you have accuracy 1 mark. So if everything is answered correct, you have 5 good marks.